there, it's Debbie Anderson here today from Inner Liberation Healing, and today I am here to welcome you to my channel and to talk with you about a Beyond Quantum Healing Hypnosis session that I was in with another practitioner, and I am the client. So the name of the session is called Conversation with My Higher Self, and in it there's a lot of information that I'm talking about here. It's very interesting. So first, let me just ask if you could subscribe to my channel and leave me a comment, heads up, thumbs up if it resonates with you. I would appreciate that so much. So in that session, my higher self is talking to the practitioner and talking about a lot of things. One of them is that we indeed are in many dimensions, that we live many lives at the same time, that we're living in, at one point, I was living in Lemuria, and the practitioner was from Atlantis, that there's highly evolved, that I was living on a planet. I was from a planet that had highly evolved beings, which wasn't on Earth. And there was lots of conversation about crystals and the value of crystals and the importance of crystals. Also about how there were giants in the past on Earth. And that talks about who creates our reality. Also about the Great Reset here on Earth, which is happening and about to happen soon. So I hope that you listen to this video. It's really good, and I hope you find some information in it that's helpful to you. So again, thank you for coming and listening, and if you would like a session with me, find the link below for a Quantum Healing Hypnosis session. It's really quite amazing work, and it is very healing work for those of you that are carrying around a lot of trauma, and perhaps as I had been in an abusive relationship with a narcissist, and that's sort of why I got into the healing modalities. And this particular healing modality with quantum healing hypnosis is amazing to actually really heal and move on. So I hope that you enjoy this, and until next time, take care.
It's a whole place of sparkling crystal world.
Any colors?
They're clear crystals, but you can see the sun sparkling off of them.
And is it outside, or are you in a building or outside somewhere?
It looks like it's outside, but the buildings are also crystals.
Okay.
There's people.
Yeah.
There's people. They're walking around.
Yeah.
It's a very nice place. People are happy and joyful.
Happy and joyful. That sounds good. Do you get the sense that you have a body?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you look down at your feet for me and tell me what you see?
I see my feet.
Yeah. Are you wearing anything on your feet?
They're kind of like little sandals. Yeah.
Okay. Can you look up your body to see what you're wearing?
It's just like a little dress, or It's nothing fancy. It's sort of like a robe, like a dress. Yeah, very sleeveless kind of robe that
Does it have a color?
white.
White. Okay. And do you get the sense that you're male or female?
I'm female. I'm blonde.
And blonde.
Yeah. We're all kind of taller and thin, and it's like a village.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's a nice feeling. It's a happy community.
Do you get the feeling that this is on Earth or somewhere else?
It's somewhere else.
Somewhere else. Okay, not on Earth. Okay. And what are you doing?
I'm saying because I look up and I see more than one moon. There's 2 or 3
2 or 3 moons.
moons or other, whatever they are.
Other heavenly bodies or whatever they are.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what are you doing there?
I live there.
You live there?
Mm-hmm. It's my village.
Okay.
We all kind of work together, and it looks like we eat together, and there's like a community. Everything seems, there's a lot of things made out of crystal, like crystal tables and chairs, and the buildings. They're simple buildings, but we grow our food.
Mm-hmm.
We eat together. We spend time together.
What sort of food do you grow?
Looks like fruit and some vegetables. There's chickens. Chickens running around. I don't know if
they look like there are Earth chickens, do you know?
Yep. They look like chickens. Yeah. There's goats. There's chickens. We use it for food, eggs, milk, food. It's a highly evolved, my sense is it's a highly evolved community.
Mm-hmm. And what's your part in this community?
I'm part of the village. I'm
the
healer.
You're the healer. Mm-hmm. And how do you heal people? What do you use?
My mind.
Use your mind.
They just come.
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily have to put my hands on people. I scan people with my mind. And for the most part, people are really healthy here.
Mm-hmm.
We don't take pills, and anybody who does require healing comes to me, but for the most part, they can heal themselves. But
they can heal themselves. Mm-hmm. They know how to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Except if there's more that needs to be done, they come to me.
Mm-hmm. And is that normal in your community? People, they're brought up to know how to heal themselves.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I am the healer of the village, and my responsibility is to help people to understand and become aware that they have the ability to heal themselves. Some people, like I teach the children, and those who do require more healing on other levels. It's kind of hard to explain because there's lots of we are not just one dimension. We are not just one. There's many of us. There's different bodies of us all at the same time.
You mean you mean each person occupies a different level of body at any one time? Is that what you mean? A different dimensional body.
So sometimes people go to different places and they become ill, and they might come back to me.
Do you mean different places in your realm or your planet, or different places throughout the cosmos?
The cosmos, like in different universes, there's many, many, many universes, and they can go off. But this is where we come from. This is our village. So it's hard to explain that we live many lives at the same time. Everyone does. We all do.
So it's like your soul splits into different parts, and you're living in different places, in different bodies at the same time.
Yeah. Like different pieces of fractals, different parts of yourselves.
Okay. And this village, is this the only village on your planet, or are there many villages and towns on your planet?
There's other villages there.
Are they all very similar to yours?
Yeah, it's a highly evolved planet.
So the whole planet is highly evolved.
The people that are on it,
Okay.
We have the ability to go to other places. It's kind of
so they can travel. They can travel to other places, or do they travel in?
It's like holograms. Like you go, you don't.
So they can travel as a hologram to other places, like on a beam of light. You mean? Almost.
We can split off. There can be many, many, many parts of us. We can go to all the different places, wherever we choose to go to.
And if you were to go to a different place, would you become a different body, or would you appear as the body that you inhabit on the planet where you are now? Or would you become somebody else?
No, you're the same.
You're the same person. Okay.
I mean, there might be some physical differences. I suppose if you go to some other planet, you can become anything you want. You can become a rock, piece of sand. We make our own realities wherever we go. It's interesting.
And do you travel to these other places?
Yeah.
You do? And what was the last place that you traveled to? What was that like?
It was not a good experience. I chose to go to kind of a difficult place.
And how was it difficult?
War. There was conflict. I was a warrior. I was a female, and I was a warrior, and it was dealing with, my choice was to deal with conflict and upset amongst the tribes of this particular planet.
Was this planet Earth, or was it a different planet?
That was what I'm speaking about, is a different planet. But Earth is like the most difficult planet in the systems. It's known to be extremely dark, and that is being looked after now. When I say looked after, I mean cleaned up, cleared out. It's not going to continue the way that it has been. It serves no purpose. It's far, far, far too dark. Much darker than the planet I was speaking about. So, with you.
Will the Earth, do you know whether the Earth will become like this planet that you call home? Will it eventually become joyous and happy? And
yes, it will.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
It might not be a crystalline planet, but it will be a beautiful planet the way it was supposed to be.
I'm interested to know about the crystals on your planet. How are the crystals formed? Do you know?
They're formed by when the planet was made, when it was born, when it was millions and millions and millions of years ago. It was formed that way. Crystals are living beings. They are part on my planet there. We are very connected to the crystals. We are connected there like family. They have so much information and so much to show us. They're very connected to source.
And you say that you had buildings and like furniture made out of crystals. How do you make things out of the crystals?
Well, that's a very sophisticated community group of people. They have the technology. They develop a lot of what's done is done through your mind. It's not. The technology is very, very sophisticated, and so when you describe a house that's made, there's like people get together and they use their mind to make it, to make like the house.
Like a collective mind. They design it and then they think about it and it comes into being.
Yeah, kind of. Kind of like that. Yeah. I mean, people just don't understand we have the ability to create whatever we want. And when you put that together with other evolved beings, that are vibrating, I guess if you want to call it, on a much higher plane, you can make things, have them come into fruition by your thinking, by your higher thoughts, by your vibration.
And do your people on your planet, do they create other things? Do they create creatures or life forms or anything?
No, we don't create any living beings like that. No, that there are animal friends and there's certainly flowers and trees, and there's crystal trees.
Crystal trees?
Yeah.
You mean the crystals grow like a tree?
They're trees that are crystal. That are made of, yeah, they're made of crystals. They're crystal.
And they grow?
Yeah, they grow.
Okay. And do you have a lot of other life forms on your planet?
Yep. There's lots of lovely animals, and we don't eat our friends. No. We do eat things like eggs and milk, and we don't eat our friends, though. We don't. They've developed a kind of food that if people are wanting something that it's not really like that, they don't really eat meet like you do on Earth, those kinds of things. They don't want to.
No.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Do the animals all get on, or do the animals, are there any hunting animals there that hunt the other animals?
They mostly get along with each other, and they eat what they need to in order to survive. It's expected. Everything is kind of light, like lights, like it's just a very different, highly evolved, if you wanted to use that word, planet.
And do you all live in communities? Are there any families where you?
Yeah, you have families. You're connected. There's children. It's a very loving. You do what you want to do. You, if you want to learn about something and want to go off to another planet, you can do that by going as yourself, if you want to describe it that way, or you can go as another piece of yourself, a fractal of yourself.
So you could go to another planet just to observe. You could go as yourself, and you could just observe, like you just almost like traveling, like we would go on a vacation to see other cultures and to experience other places. You can do that.
And then you can bring it back and you can talk about what happened and where you were. And
do you have a way of being able to record where you've been to show other people, so you can show other
it's all in your mind.
It's all in the mind, and you communicate telepathically.
Well, you kind of it's like on a screen. If you can you can say, okay, well, here's where I went, and this is, they're very interested in what what we all do and what we've learned, and
it's like your thoughts appear on a screen. You can project thoughts to appear on a
kind of It's sometimes hard to explain, because it's not things that we've had on like Earth. It's not something that we would understand so much on Earth. So you're trying to explain something that isn't there yet.
And have you ever traveled to Earth?
Yeah.
And did you come as yourself, or did you come as another part of yourself? Were you born into an Earth body?
I've been to Earth many, 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 many thousands and thousands of times. Yeah. It has never been, I guess the word is dreadful pops into my head, as it's a very difficult time for Earth at this time.
Have you been to Earth, what I would call recently, in the time that is now? Have you been to Earth within the last few years to experience what's going on now, the Great Awakening?
Well, I'm aware of that. And I guess my counterpart, or part of me that's there, would be Debbie. Right.
Yeah. Right. Okay, so Debbie is a counterpart of you. So part of you is Debbie. Okay. Okay. So with this great awakening that we see happening on Earth now, is this something that you have witnessed happening on other places, other planets?
No, Well, it's
No?
not like this. No, everyone,
Special
the
to Earth.
universes are watching Earth
Mhm.
because it has been taken over a long time ago by very dark forces, and that has just built and built and built. And now that had to be dismantled because it's not, it serves no purpose. It became too evil, too destructive, too dark.
But presumably, I'm going to talk to Debbie's subconscious about this, but presumably we're almost at the end of this dark patch now. Is that correct, as you would see it?
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
it is.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. So these dark forces that you talk about that took over Earth, do you know where these dark forces originated from, where they came from?
They came from other planets, other systems. They go to other universes, they go to other planets, and they do the same thing. It's just not as bad as this.
Why do they do this?
They want power, control, and they live off the energy. It's just as there's good, there's evil, and it's a matter of feeding that, and it becomes bigger and larger and bigger force. So,
do you know very much about the history of the Earth?
Mother Earth is a living being.
It's a living being.
Yes. And just like you or Debbie, other people, it's just where the living, our being goes to. So the Earth was made, developed, came into existence millions and millions of years ago, and was happy, if you will, positive, bright planet, which had a lot of goodness, and that's why the dark energies came to take it over, because it was so bright, and that's what darkness lives on.
Drawn to. I wanted to ask a little bit about Earth's history, if I may, if you know. I understand from our Bible that the Earth was once populated by giants, possibly miles high. What can you tell me about that?
Yeah, that was true. They were there. There was giants. I mean, there's been a long history of a lot of different species and beings and so on. They came from elsewhere. They came from other planets. The giants that you're talking about. Yeah.
So they weren't born on the Earth? You're saying that they came to the Earth?
They originally were seeded here, and then they became a community or whatever group of people, population.
What happened to them?
Those who came, the darkness, the dark folks, the people that came down, they killed them. They got rid of them.
They got rid of them. Do you know how they killed them?
They have technology. They have these dark entities. They've been growing in their technologies and their abilities throughout the centuries, and they used their weapons to kill them.
Mm-hmm.
We were all connected on Earth. There was giant trees, huge, giant, massive, massive, massive trees.
Mm-hmm. Giant trees, yeah.
Yep.
And giant animals as well.
Some. There were some.
Mm-hmm.
The trees, though, were connected, and it was very peaceful, loving time. And this was also taken away from the dark ones. They cut the trees down and got rid of them. They got rid of anything. They took things from the earth. They took the crystals out of the earth. They took the gold out of the earth. They took and raped this planet.
They took the crystals away. Why did they take the crystals away?
Because they have the ability to pass information along. They're powerful. They're living. Their goodness, anything that's not dark, is light.
We see on this planet what looks like remains of petrified or fossilized giant people, possibly giant animals, giant trees. Is that the case? Are they the remains of the fossilized giants, or is it just that that's what we're seeing?
No, they were here. They were large beings at one period.
Would we now
time.
see them, for example, as some of our mountains? We can see some mountains where we have the shape of a very, very large human shape. But is that the case, that they are these fossilized giants?
Perhaps they might have been fossilized into some of the landscape. There were periods of time where just the earth had like huge floods and muds and so on. It was a matter of just how the planet lived. And it was part of also how they got rid of some of the darkness by having these floods and these mud floods and these hurricanes and these, because there was
these huge floods. They were worldwide. How were these floods caused?
Source.
From source.
Yeah. Source.
Do you know how the source
just it became
did they open up the gates in the firmament? Do you know about that?
The firmament, you mean there is no real dome in the sense of there is a frequency that is around Earth. Earth is not flat. It's flat, but it's not. It's a very endless sheet of our reality. There is not like a dome over Earth. There's a frequency. Energetic frequency
that appears to us as a dome.
Yeah.
An energetic frequency, and that stops us being able to leave the earth unless we have the correct frequency.
No. It prevents. It prevents energies from coming into the earth. That's what the intention of it was, to keep the dark out. However, that has been not that their technology has prevented that from working.
Right. Okay. Okay. So, and beyond this frequency created dome, then there are other lands beyond this on this flat sheet of reality.
Well, it's kind of hard to explain because it's our reality. We make the reality. We all do. So it's whatever we.
It's whatever we create.
Yeah, it's whatever we create. Whatever collectively and individually, we are far more powerful than what we imagine. When I speak about we, I'm speaking about each being, each part of source, each of us, each spark from source.
Okay. And so it's possible then that the remnants that we see around the earth of mountains and other things that we see are the remnants of catastrophes that have happened and resets that have happened.
Yes.
We also see things like things that look like melted buildings in our realm. Again, is that something which is a result of this technology that these dark forces have been using against us?
Yeah. It is. All of it is. There have been many, you described them as resets in our history, but nothing quite like this one. That because it's
coming.
That's coming, yes. Because it's not, there's no use to continue. Like, there's no purpose to continue. It's if things are far too evil, there has to be some kind of a balance. Doesn't mean that all the evil is going to disappear everywhere. But this is not, it became far too dark.
Yeah, the earth was far too dark to be allowed to carry on being that dark, and there needed to be a change.
Right. Yes.
Okay. And so the change that we're going to see, and we hear about the release of all these technologies which have been held back from us by these dark forces. So will we see the result of the release of these technologies this year?
Absolutely, we'll see them. It's hard to say the time frame. Things change all the time, but we will see them in our lifetime for sure. The free electricity.
Yeah. Okay.
The governments will be taken down.
Yeah.
The people that have been repressing the populations by their various systems, they will be taken down. That is true.
Yeah.
They are being taken down now.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, now I want to